7 runs on 4 hits. Couple errors aided there as Cintron comes in, closes the door, and, well, Claire, she'll come to the plate now and already chasing quite a high mark as 4 home runs in her first 2 weekends has Cintron, top 6 all-time amongst Clemson freshmen.
What a list to join, right? Especially in your freshman campaign, having Cagle at the top. That is someone that you just look up to, especially taking over such big shoes that she's left behind. And Cintron is well on her way, especially if she sticks it out all 4 years here at Clemson. Expect her to be pushing some of those records for Cagle.
Georgia Player of the Year last year, ranked the #1 prospect according to Extra Innings Softball. And a matchup between a pair of freshmen now as Shamblin with run support can assumingly attack the zone, but Cintron is a dangerous hitter to face in the count 2-0. It's gray anthracite Nike uniforms for Clemson up against the white tops from Charlotte. Just about a 2.5-hour drive for the 49ers, who make their 4th trip here to McWhorter, looking for their first ever win against the Tigers.
And the amount of softball relationships between North Carolina and South Carolina and that 2.5-hour gap is so important to stress, because when you look at the regional schools, they're all just rotating between players on rosters, coaching staff, and who's been where. And there's a lot of secrets that one program has had with another. And it's super unique and interesting to see it all come to fruition on the Diamonds.
Hitters count for Macy, and the 3-1 pitch is chopped out to right. In play for Dirks, and we have seen that right field has not quite carried here tonight with no wind, and there's 1 out.
None of the flags are moving, so the wind not working in the favor for anyone, but Richie really didn't make that much of a difference when she had that one right over center field wall, and it was all over for her. So not having some of those elements in your favor, but nonetheless it's dry, and that's really the big storyline for tonight, considering that they did move the game from what was supposed to be first pitch tomorrow, has opening day a day early.
Good location there from the freshman Shamblin against another freshman from Georgia, and Sam Minish off to a hot start, earning her way into the starting lineup, hitting .412 as Minish falls behind 0-2, and wouldn't this be a monstrous shutdown frame for Shamblin? A Niner team that struggled to close the door after scoring runs last weekend. 1-2.
Shamblin is still trying to get a feel for some of those off-speed pitches, so the second to last most recent one really working in her favor, and you can see that the bullpen work that she's had during practice really coming into fruition and getting her an early lead.
1-2 pitch, popped foul, and out of play. As always, McWhorter, one of the premier destinations across the ACC. Led the conference in attendance last year, did these Clemson fans. And on a last-minute rescheduled game, still a crowd that is working its way into the stadium. As this pop-up does not leave the infield, Richie there, and 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second.
Richie really didn't have to move for that, but it's all in part due to Shamblin. She's been placing these really well, and the hitters haven't been able to use the full length of the barrel of the bat. It's been a lot of those inside placements that forces the pop-ups, and they're dropping their shoulders as they're just a little too early on their release with it. So a couple of pop-ups in both outfields and the infields make for easy outs.
There you see the numbers of another freshman from Georgia in Ava Wilson, who had a fantastic weekend in Clearwater with a couple long balls, including a grand slam. Right now, her offense just hoping for a spark any way, anyhow, as the count evens 1-1.
40% of those hits coming from freshmen, and that's just such an important stat to know, considering that they're young. They don't know what it's like to play at a level like this. There's a lot of new things for them, such as balancing that student-athlete schedule, but nonetheless, they're still outputting at the plate against tough opponents on the road in Clearwater. Missouri, Auburn, and Kentucky are 3 teams that are dominant within their respective conferences, and putting up runs against them is a feat within itself.
2-1 pitch chased, driven fair down the first base line, and the tag made by Wins. So 6 up, 6 down for Shamblin in the circle. And we head to the third next.